Okay, this is design session for the CDS UI. Go ahead, Brenda.
Yes, I'm trying to open.
I'm sorry, we just have joined. Partosh?
Hey, thanks for joining.
Yeah, just a quick note, because I guess you're talking about this feature of storing the CBS file, right? In the the CBA file, right?
Yeah.
Because we started actually working on this.
We are talking about the UI design.
Okay.
Mostly on UI. That's it.
Okay. You're focusing on the UI side because we're already preparing the backend. The only thing we need some details about, because there's a file.
Okay, exactly. I think Bartosz, we will plan for the backend microservices and each user's story. Okay, in the next session. I think this session.
Okay, perfect. Very good.
On the UI, yeah.
I'll be following quietly then. Thank you.
Thanks. I think my system is very slow. Let me open that browser. Okay. So this is the meta file actually. So that first screen, it has to translate that definition. Okay, like this. Okay. So CSR file, I think it is not needed to capture from that. It is always it should be a version 1.0. You're recording, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And we want to capture this one, Kafka meta file version. This is a version of that blueprint template actually. Okay, or CBA template or CBA version, I could say that. So this we need to capture. Okay, so always in that Maven version kind of pattern. Okay, it should have a three numericals separated with the 2 dots. Okay, and you all know that major, minor, and I think fixed version. Yeah. Okay, so this you want to capture from the screen. Okay, we can have that CBA version. Okay, instead of not to present like a Kafka meta file version, instead of that CBA version, you could mention that. And then this is a file name actually. Okay, if you look into that, this is the CBA file, and that file it's nothing but the entity definition. Okay, as per Kafka definition name, entity definition. So that file will be a starter file. It's like a key file. It's a main file that you could see here. Okay. So just let me once again, just give me a second. I will show that one of the sample of CBA file. Okay, I think you can get it from here. Okay. Okay. Now under the base configuration, you could see that multiple directory structures, right? So you have a multiple directory structure. So you have a definition. So under the definition, so this is the file name actually. Okay. So you could have this file name, exactly the same name as CBA file name that we are capturing in that input session. Okay. The first high level session. Okay. So if you look into that, so this even it translates that whatever the information that we capture here, that translates into this information. So, okay, it's like a version. Template version is nothing but that version, and then template name is nothing but that the CBA file name, and along with that we need to capture that tags also. Okay, so even that meta file has a tags definition, and along with that user author information also. Okay, so let me go back to the meta file. So meta file captures the template tags, okay, and then name of the template, and then created by. Okay, so we can define that user, okay, either with similar to the Docker, how we capture the Docker header. It's like author name, okay, username followed with email ID. So we can capture in this fashion. Okay, username followed with the email ID. We can capture that, and CBA version file. These are all the mandatory informations right now. Any doubts or any clarity or any discussions that we need now?
What about the user groups? Do you want to include user groups here as well?
I think we can make it like optional right now. Till now we haven't defined the security and what kind of user role, whether we are going to use that AAF for that internal or different. We are still under discussion. So that's the reason we don't want to concentrate right now user groups. Okay, by default we can have a tag user groups, but there is no implementation behind that or no design for this release, at least Dublin.
Okay. And Brenda, we still will have that feature where the users can add any meta they want on top of this, on top of the whatever is required, right?
Exactly.
Yep. Okay.
Exactly.
So the first form should contain 5 details basically, right, Brenda?
Minimum.
5 minimum. Okay.
Okay. So it's 5 is enough, and metadata addition, okay, extra metadata addition that we will include in the designer itself, okay, not at the front page. Okay, front page should be very simple. Okay.
Yeah.
You're okay with that first screen, right? Okay. Now you can take a presentation so that we can discuss about the second one. You can take and show the presentation.
Yeah. You want that web page itself or the image?
Go back to the first screen itself. Yeah, first. Okay. So that first that name we should get a proper name, okay, and then it should have a proper heading, okay. So proper heading to capture that information, whatever the 5 details, okay, we want to capture. So one thing is like create. Okay, create should be a separate session. I believe create should be a separate session, and upload should be a separate session, because while uploading, if you are trying to upload from your local, okay, you need not to provide that any information for the task, okay, for the definitions and all those things. So it should be clearly differentiated whether you are uploading from a local file or you are trying to create or modify the existing template. So that should be in a first screen itself, user should be clearly communicated that either you should upload or you should start from editing or start from scratch. You're getting it, right?
Yeah, you want each and everything should be in a separate column, right?
At least upload, okay, because upload doesn't involve any input from that user perspective.
Okay. Yeah, sure, Brenda.
Okay, so now it's like it is little bit confusing, because now whether I want to enter and I want to do that upload or it's it's a little bit confusing. So that only I want it should be clearly separated. That upload, it doesn't require any input. Okay, just if you have a CBA file, you can come here directly upload that file, and then you can edit that, or you can start working.
Yeah. Actually, I have planned to have a separate the browse option, a text box and a browse option for upload template file. For the design, I have just uploaded this image. We were not able to get that exact browse thing, so we have kept it.
No, so I'm talking about the section. Okay, the section should be clearly communicated. Okay, it should be either user should drag that CBA file directly to the palette or to the particular area, or else he can use that browse option.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So we can start from there. It's like directly upload and then start working, and then that below that or okay, you should have a below that or. I like to have a community feedback also in that case. Okay, so user community can provide that feedback. Okay, so how we want to go with that. mean, any suggestions here? So what I'm trying to say, it's like I need a upload session at the top, upload or because two options are there. Either you should directly upload and start working, or else you can create and select that starter package and then start working on that. Or else the third option is like search from that existing database and then start working on that.
And the upload will be basically upload and test and deploy, right?
No. What happens though, even if you upload that, you need to validate. Sometimes you may want to edit, or sometimes you want to clone, or sometimes you want to edit that existing option and then you want to test it. So that first screen, it's completely, it talks about what is the CBA file and what kind of content that we are going to deal with that. Either it may be a selection from that existing one, or searchable from that database or existing infrastructure, existing environment, or create from the scratch. So it means that first option itself selecting or choosing their corresponding CBA file, I could say that.
Okay, so you're saying, Brenda, even in upload, you'll still do blueprint design.
Exactly. We want to validate that. That's what I'm trying to say, that you can edit, or it is up to you. You can edit, you can clone, or you can directly go to the test screen itself directly. But whatever the content you have uploaded, you should validate or look at what is the content inside that, at least the design or at least the information, what is presented. Simply, you should not upload and test it.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah. Thanks, okay. Elil, I think you are capturing the design also, so that you can create a mock-up screen based on that, right?
Yeah, sure, Brinda.
Till now, any clarity that you need from my side?
No.
Okay. So that option in the first screen itself, you have a multiple options. Okay, I repeat that, I summarize that. Multiple options. The first option should be upload option. Okay, in that case, user, assuming that user is already having a CBA file in his local environment or local desktop, okay, he can upload that CBA file. The second option is like queryable, because I'm trying to look at what are the combinations. So what is the maximum combinations he will get? The first combination, he will have the CBA file, a maximum percentage most probably. That second, it's like he tries to edit that existing one. Okay. The third option will be always that new one. New one, of course, it's like very negligible when compared to these two things actually. So that's the reason I'm placing the third option, creating a new one as a third option. Right. So the first option should be upload. The second option should be query that template, query that existing CBA file. Right now we will target about that existing environment. Later we will talk about SDC integration. Okay, SDC queryable features. Later we will talk about that. First, in this release we will talk about only the controller blueprint microservice query function. Right.
Hey, Brenda, Munir here. Don't you think we should move those text boxes below these? Because essentially, if you, as you mentioned, if you're uploading a CBA file, then those are not required to be filled in. So,
exactly.
As a user, I would see the text boxes first, and I will start filling those out.
But exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. That okay.
Okay.
That text box is a combination of selecting the template and providing that input. So that's the third option, completely. You're getting
Yes, I understood. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye. Okay. So
Brinda.
Yeah.
Brinda, so the third option, that is we select the empty template, right? But the user needs to input it.
That was just before Munir, right? Did I pronounce your name correct?
Yes.
Okay. So it's the third option. It's the text and starter template. Okay? The text, whatever the text.
Okay.
And Brinda, I have a doubt here. So first option would be like uploading a template file, right? So in that case, these three, no, maybe these text fields should be auto-populated or he should enter? How it should be?
Because in that case, no, we don't want to mix up that. Okay, once you upload that information, then automatically that next screen will have that most of the information, like the controller blueprint design and everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and we don't want to mix that combination. Once you upload that, we don't want to pre-populate this information. Sometimes it will create a confusion to that user. Okay, let it be. Okay, let the third option should be the unique option. Okay, so don't mix with the two other options, right?
Yeah. So the text
was
field
saying that when they upload, can they manage what the name is, manage the version, and manage, let's say, the author, or is that going to be pre-populated based on the CBA content itself?
Exactly. You are giving me to think. Okay, let me think that. Okay, so you are also right here. So
it might make sense to upload and then completely let them manage it.
I think that upload option, I think it won't be only in the clone options only. You will try to, you can manage that. Okay, for upload, you are not going to edit that name and metadatas and other information. Maybe.
If you have a conflict, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
What about if you have a conflict in the name itself?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let me think that. Okay, so in that case, we want to design that text. Okay, that text is a common for all, right? All the text.
Yeah.
Okay, either because I assume that even once user uploads CBA file, he can persist that information to the backend database also. So he can update that. So in that case, he may need to edit that information, edit that tag information, searchable information, or user information also. So with that, okay. So what we can do is have that option at the top. Okay, I'm thinking. Okay, even community can provide the suggestion. Have that all the 5 fields. What are the 5 fields we talked about that? Have at the top, and below that we can have a multiple options. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's more now it's more aligned to LLRC's design now.
Yeah. One more thing, like, can we show it once they choose the template? Till then, let the 5 fields be be hidden.
Yeah, exactly. So in that case also it is fine. So how you are going to make this common, that you want to think, and user should not confuse them. Okay. Even if you select from the database or select from or upload the file, okay, this should be populated. Okay, so better you can move this one on a right hand side. It's a common for all such things like that.
Yeah, maybe we can have this choose CBA template just in the top, and the below part, once they choose it, they can fill this form, fill this fields.
Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say that. Okay, so first option should be, you can have a left hand side 3 options, and then this field, okay, these 5 fields on the right hand side, okay, so that whatever maybe the options you select on the left hand side, automatically it provides editable function as well as that new entry functions for the particular CBA file.
So if I take, Brenda and Aricia, essentially the upload and create new are common, right? Because you are going to say, I want a new blueprint, and that new blueprint, you can upload it, right, through some file. And or you can use some sort of template starter, but the existing model start with from an existing model. There you need to have like a separate search so you can search and clone. So that's a little bit different, right?
That is the second option, right? That is the second option, right?
That is the second option, but I'm saying that's not part of. It's not going to be part of the I think there's like 2 ways to do this. You can do this one time when you do an upload or create new because they're starting from scratch. And the other one requires some sort of search and then a clone, right?
Yeah.
So it's like we need to, I think the existing model
even
template.
Clone options needs that edit option. Only that existing one, it doesn't require edit option. Okay, but all other 3 requires edit option. Right?
Even the existing models requires edit option, right? Because when you clone it.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. That in that edit itself, two options. One is clone option or editing that same one. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
So I believe that all three requires edit option, Yuri.
All three require edit option. All I'm saying, how do you get to the three, right? The first, the upload CBA and the create new, that's part of the creation of a new CBA file, right? Because when you create a new, you can say, I have a template starter and I'm using that template starter, or I have something to upload. But what about the existing model? That requires some sort of search, right?
That is independent, right? That is independent, right? You can directly go to that particular widget and then you can try to search on that. Okay, so once you search on that, once you get that information, then only you are trying to select that which CBA file that you are going to work on that. At that time, if you enter that or if you select that particular CBA file out of the search result, okay, then you will be presented with the edit option of those information, of those files.
So, the question, what I'm questioning, Brenda, is that today, like in the prototype that we have, we just do a search of CBA files, right? We don't, and then clone it, right? Once we find it, we don't have like this create new and then do a search and clone. So the question is just, are we saying that we always gonna create new and then do a search and a clone, or are we gonna allow them to search?
No.
As a separate option, and then clone it from once they find it, those CBA files.
Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say. That it's three different ways to select that CBA file. That's what okay. One is from a starter template, and one is from existing database, the backend system. Okay, and then other one is like upload function. So the three option it's completely different. We are talking about that meta file and that information, that whatever that meta info. Okay.
So how to get to the three files is not defined, right, in here. But once you get to them, you should have these three steps of doing the template management,
exactly,
blueprint management, and then test and deploy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're aligned. All right, very good.
Brinda, I have one doubt in existing model templates.
Yeah.
Will you have a widget-like thing, like how many dB fit us? It will be more or it will be less?
No, come again. Widget will be me?
Yeah, the existing model templates will have more files, more CBA files, or limited one?
It will be more, right? So think about we can expect more than 100 over a period of time. You will get 100 with each with multiple versions. Okay, you will get lot, right?
Yeah, you'll have a lot. It's I would say within thousands for now.
Okay. In that case, we'll have a pop-up screen like that. Pop-up screen to search and get the CBA file.
Yeah. Okay. Or else we can have 4 different steps, something like that. Okay. 4 different steps. It's like upload or search. Okay. Or create a new. It's like only that launch to that new. Then automatically this screen will be this, whatever you have shown it's a 1, it should be a second one.
Right. We just need to define what those, how to get to this screen, right?
Exactly.
The how to get to the screen, we need to provide a mock-up for that.
Community, what do you guys think?
Hey, Manir here again. Okay, so why don't we simplify this? So we move all the options up front, and if you click on upload, then it pops up your browser and whatnot. And the same way, we should not treat the database any differently. So it's basically not selecting from your laptop, but from a database. So it will have, if you say, and from an existing model, you click the button, and then it will pop up the dialog box where you can query your database or the catalog. So essentially, we should treat upload from file browser versus searching existing template in the same manner. Like, to me, that seems like it's another method of search. You're not searching your laptop for finding it. You're searching a database.
Yeah. But can you a suggestion like how the screen should be?
Okay, so say those the three text boxes that are there today, it's going to be further in the behind, so it's going to be section A, where you basically choose your template. So you have the upload, you have from scratch create new. If you click create new, it's going to basically take you to the second section. So the browser will scroll down a bit, and then you can have fill in the form. If you click
Moni,
upload
can
template,
you explain, because we could not visualize that? Can you share with the PPT something, just a high level, how you are trying to? You have
okay,
anything?
I don't. Okay, I don't have anything ready here, but
You can just
okay.
outline that in the PPT. It's like, no, it should some box or something like that. So that
Okay, sure. Let's do that.
Yes.
Okay, let's do that. So I'm gonna take a new PowerPoint here file and share my screen.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Thanks.
So do you guys see a PowerPoint here?
Sure. Yeah, good.
Okay, so here you have your different options. Upload template. Browse catalog. So this would mean browse catalog of existing things, and then you would have some kind of a separator here where you are now defining all your text boxes here, like name and whatnot, goes into these further text boxes here. So the name, and so if you click upload, it's going to open a separate the dialog box where you choose from file, and then once you picked up your file, it's going to auto-populate the three fields that you guys already had in there. I think there's going to be 4 or 5, right? So all those fields are going to get populated. But when I click upload, my browser should scroll up a little bit. So it will take me up something like that, where I can now focus on filling this up. So we could perhaps label this one as part 1 or something, and then step 1 or something. And then this other ones would be step 2. So step 2. So the user, even though we're auto-populating this based on what comes from CBA file or browse from the catalog, we will auto-populate. But then if the user wants to, we can have that option of auto-filling that, editing that. Let's say initially, where is it? Let's say initially we have, I don't know, vFirewall or something for the name. And then if the user chooses to change that, you can do so. And then it's going to change the content of the template and upload.
Sure, yeah. Thanks a lot. I like this. Only the difference is like, if I'm going to create a new one, then that step 2, it's a confusing for me.
Okay, so if you say create new, then it should just basically bring you down here. Essentially, it's starting you a blank template. So this will be hidden first, right?
Yeah,
so and then when you click create new, this is gonna get created, and then your browser will scroll down a bit.
Sure. I like this, except that pop-up. Okay, instead of pop-up, I think we want to avoid that pop-ups and this one. So in that case, without pop-up, how you will design? Can you provide some suggestion?
Brenda?
Yeah.
We have NG options, right? We can hide it based on the condition.
No,
so for the first
I'm
two
not talking
options,
about the hide actually. I'm talking about that pop-up, because now we want to avoid that pop-up. Okay, because pop-up is not recommended. Yeah.
It's like initially in the step 1, we'll display only the upload template, browse catalog, that choose template file option alone. So once they click on it, we'll have a form below, right? So that will show automatically, and finally he'll get a next button to go on with the CBA creation. The metadata details actually he can give it after choosing the template.
Yeah. I accept that point. Yeah, that I'm clear. Okay, that I'm clear. Okay, so only that it's like instead of a pop-up. Okay, how I will try to avoid pop-ups here and then have the design of selecting these three options. That's the only thing that I'm trying to bring the point.
Okay, then why don't we, if that's the case, if we're trying to avoid the pop-up, so you basically then move this a bit further where you're gonna basically, with your upload, it's gonna bring a text box here, and depending on which option you press, it's gonna update another little section here before before these, where you can do that interactively within the same UI.
Exactly.
We could even perhaps save that here.
Yeah, that's what exactly you are coming. Okay, so now on the left hand side we have three options. On the right hand side we have the text box entry, and have that option 1 or 2 select based on that option. Okay, based on the option that we select. Okay, on the right hand side it should populate to the next. Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm trying to look for that.
Yeah. So you could basically have a section here for defining how to choose that.
Yeah.
And then we want this, when you click this, it will change color, so you know which one you already selected. And if you want to go back to, if you change your mind, you can go back within the same UI before you have submitted. Then you can essentially come and select a new source based on which one you press here.
Sure. Yeah. I like this actually. Tim, any suggestions? I like this design. Yeah.
Just a quick note. I'm wondering, if browse catalog is good, or maybe it should be, like export from catalog, because I believe that, we're referring here to the database on the design side, right? So the file is not going to be like in the file format, but it's going to be actually in the database, right? So we have to kind of there's an additional step to kind of extract, the file out of the information which is in the database, right? So that would be my suggestion.
Okay, let me explain that browse option. Okay, browse option. Once you select the browse option, okay, that down palette or down that the dynamic form, okay, will be presented with the search information. So you can search that. You can enter a keyword or a tag, whatever the tags that we stored. So with that, it tries to communicate with the backend microservice, controller blueprint microservice to retrieve that information, or at a later point of time it may go to that ASDC, okay, for a search functionality, and pulls that information, that existing CBA information. So once user selects that particular CBA, okay, in that dynamic form, then automatically the step 2 should display that information, so user can edit or go as it is with that same name itself for the further step 2 process.
Okay, but that means that it's actually catalog of what's on the runtime side, basically, right?
Oh, yeah. It is not runtime. Okay. It is a designer backend microservice.
Brinda?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, now the application, whatever I have showed on the web page, right? It is a column-based stepper form. Okay.
Yeah.
So
this is the first step actually. I could say that wizard first. It's like selecting that template actually. Okay. This wizard is selecting the template. Okay. That second is the designer. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, we have row stepper also. Like when you choose the first option, then the next row will be appearing in these. It is not a pop-up. It will be there in the UI, right?
Yeah. Then it's fine. Yeah.
I'm suggesting the row stepper form for the screen.
Yeah. So only this screen.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So we can finalize this one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Tim,
sure.
I need votes.
Yeah, in that case, when you choose a step 1, we can just have the template decision. The step 2 can be the form fields and the 5 form fields, right?
Yeah.
No need of this big box. So either he can again go back to the step 1 and choose, so that the step 2 form will be displayed based on it. Initially, he'll have only these 3 boxes. step 1 boxes, and based on it the step 2 will be displayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can have row stepper.
Yeah. For this, you mean to say that instead of 4 steps, we want to have a row stepper completely altogether, or how you want? Because
No, the screen alone can have row stepper, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You are talking about only this screen row stepper, but not that designer. Okay, designer should be even the column based.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like this, but I need others also. Others input.
Yeah.
Also. Can we go? You retake the vote and then we can confirm that. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the next screen.
Sure. Lil, can you share that?
Yeah.
And then each one we will talk later. Okay, we will talk about the high level, and going forward we will talk about the database and all those things, back-end integration, how it should happen. Okay, and then upload, how it should happen, and all those things we will talk later. Okay, first we will try to draw a wireframe, and then later we will dig into the each details. Okay. So this step, in this I have, it's a slightly different representation below that. Okay, that top I'm fine with that. That below, it is not that JSON file actually. It is not the JSON content you are going to display, because let me tell that what is happening. What will, if it is a single file, it is worthwhile to show that information, show that definitions altogether completely. But the problem is, like here we are going to deal with multiple files. So in that case, you can't show that multiple files in a single single editor kind of session. And moreover, that representation I have that below, it is nothing but the properties of each nodes or each I could say that each diagram or each entity present inside the designer screen. It is not the JSON file content. Okay, here if you select a resource assignment DG, it has a property, it has assignments, it has attributes and all those information that should populate below. You're getting it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Single, maybe from the picture. So if I click on this policy thing, so I should get the properties and fields.
Exactly. You have that PPT, that sample PPT, that what were the PPT that initially used to design. Yeah. Can you open the PPT? Yeah, exactly. That's 17. Okay. So these are all the informations we need to capture that. Okay. So once again, it is a dynamic form. Okay. At the bottom, it's a dynamic form. So based on the type, okay, whether you are selecting the node type or policy. Okay. Right now, concentrate only on the node types and policy. We will talk further on data types and workflows later. So once you drag that node type and policies definitions here, once you select that particular node template, then automatically property, attribute, and capability, relationship, artifacts, everything should be shown below for that particular selection. Okay. I think you know that what are the definitions for node template, right? You guys. Or I won't explain it again. Yeah, you have that information. Okay, so this is that instance model. So in that instance model, can you go to the node template here we have. Okay, node template has a type description. Okay, below that you could see that the properties, attributes, requirements, capabilities, interface, and artifacts. Okay, these are all list. Okay, so each one I'm trying to show show each one as a property panel, property information form. I could say that. So in that way we need to show for each node template.
So it will be like a form Is it?
Yeah, each one will have this. The property, just can you go to property? No, can you explain that? Can you go to the property assignments anywhere?
This one is it? No.
This one, this is a property assignment. Property types will be there.
Okay.
Can you give that presentation so that I can explain so that people can understand? Let me take the presentation.
How do I give?
I can.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a property definition. So it means like, so this screen we are not going to display. Okay, this information we are not going to capture, but this information we are going to show it as a, I could say that a hover over, or you can design hover. Later I will explain that. You know that, right? Node type, you know that. Node type defines this information. Okay, just let me take one. Yeah. See here, this is a node type. Okay, so I'm defining a node type, and node type has a property, and the property has a variable. Variable has a required type. Okay, all those informations are defined here. It is similar to that. That type, description. Okay, required, default values, status, constraint. Okay, leave about external schema right now. Okay, rest other things like external schema and status, leave about these two properties and metadata. Okay, three properties. Rest other things that we can concentrate. Okay, we want to show that. Okay, so it means like a type, description, default value, constraint, and entry schema. Okay, so based on the data type, it should generate a form. It should generate a form for types, but node template, it is not the type. Okay, node template is nothing but the value of this. Okay, so just let me go to that node template, how it looks like. See here, this is one node template. Okay, so node template has only this information. Okay, this has a node template, and this has a property. Okay, it talks about only the definitions of property assignment information, not the type, not the property type information. It talks about property definitions. So this may be expression or value. Okay, so somewhere we can hard code this value, somewhere we can expression. Think about in this case. Okay, so this is expression. Okay, so this is expression. Okay, and this is hard coded value. Okay, somewhere you can use a hard coded value, some cases we can use it as an expression. So that property panel, whatever, once you select that particular node template, okay, these are all the sections. Okay, so you as I explained earlier, so node template can have multiple sections. So one is a property section, which talks about this property, and it may have an artifact section, okay, which talks about that artifacts, okay, and which may have that interface sections, so which talks about that interface information, okay, and similar to that relationship and capability. Okay, some may have that relationship, some may have the capability, but those are optionals. Okay, you get that point, right? Any questions here? Did I lose?
So So, we'll have all the, node templates will have different fields for each and every design, is it?
Yeah.
Will not have all these fields mandatorily.
Yeah. It is not mandatory to have all fields. Okay. So some may have properties, some may not have properties also. Okay. Similarly, some may have attributes, some may not have. Okay. So what all the information that you have shown, right? So all those things should be in a separate panel. So property will be a separate panel. So those definitions, okay. Say for example here required ID, request ID, right? Where it comes, it came from this type. This is a node type, right? This is a node type. From this node type, we have defined that property, and the property has a name, and it has a value, and it has a default value, it has a constraint, and it has a descriptions, and all those informations it has there. And based on that definition, okay, so you want to refer these definitions, okay, based on this type, okay, here you have a type, right? So based on this type and then property, under the property, okay, you may have the definitions. So that form should generate based on that node type. You guys clear, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. It's very simple. Okay. So assume that node type has that complete definition, and node template is nothing but instance. So it means like if you define a property called request ID, then node template should have that capability to create that instance. So it means like I can hardcode that value, or I can provide that expression, whatever the definitions defined for the particular type. Okay.
It could be like a dynamic form, is it?
Yeah, it is a dynamic form. It is a dynamic form. Dynamic form defined by the type, actually. So that's what I mentioned, that type. This is the type. Okay. See here, this is the type. We take that same thing, right? That component resource assignment, right? So it has a component. This is of type, right? So that is nothing but instance. So earlier I showed that instance of this type. So it has a properties. Okay, the property has a request ID. Some other type may have a different properties. Okay, so based on this property, that form is a dynamic form to capture that value for this section. This is a definition. Okay, it is a string, so that we need to validate that it is a string. Okay, whatever the user is trying to enter is a string or expression type. If it is defined as a int, then that form should get only that input. And if the definition type is of list of string, then that form should capable to capture only the list of strings.
Right, and I think even today we capture in some cases defaults as well, right?
Yeah, default is a property definition, but not at instance level. Okay.
So maybe
this is whatever I'm trying to say. Yuri, is it possible? Can you show that demo? You have that video of that? Okay, just what we have. Okay, so that in that case, I think people can understand that, visualize that.
Sure. Give me 1 second. I'll do. Okay, so it's 10:05. Do we want to do maybe? Why don't we start on Tuesday with the demo and on this section again?
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Let me just quick question. On Tuesday, do you guys want to start, because we have the 11:30 to 12:30 session. We can do the design time UI at that time, or do you guys want to start a little earlier, like 10:30 to 12:30? Any preferences the team has? Is 11:30 to 12:30 okay Eastern, or do we want to do it a little bit earlier, between, let's say, 10:30 to 12:30 or 11:30?
Yeah, we can do it a little bit earlier.
Earlier?
I mean, to me, there's no issue for me.
Yeah.
Arusha, what about you? Samundo? Banal? Is 10:30 better time? Mario, any preferences the team has?
Hi. A bit earlier would be better, actually.
Okay. All right. So let me send it out. I'm hoping we can, this time works better for everybody for tomorrow itself. So let me do 10:30 to 11:30, or actually 10:30. Yeah, 10:30 to 11:30. Let's do the second design session. Okay, I'll send out the bridge details. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Have a good day.